Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just before we go to the awards, just want to mention, if I may, I'm sure you've seen it all in the media and social media, the Bambi United Community Club Lottery. The first draw is going to actually be on the 7th of June, Friday the 7th of June, and then from that point it will be going weekly. So we've got a few weeks to do it, but tickets are available at the bar. If anyone wants to get an early one in, it's available at the bar. And if you've got any questions, you can see our commercial director, Mark Alec, in that lovely flowery shirt. Okay, so if you want to get tickets, I say maybe buy a few before the 7th of June, but we're hoping it's going to be a very successful lottery, and also funds will be going to the Horton Hospital as well. Okay, I should introduce you. My name is Ronnie Johnson. I'm the club ambassador. Yeah, we'll get him quiet in a minute. I'm the club ambassador. I'm going to sort of be hosting the evening and hopefully get the proceedings along nice and easily. It's a moment to thank our sponsor for the evening. Henry's Menswear have very kindly sponsored the awards evening. They've done it now, I think, since we started, Mark, haven't they? It's a very generous sponsorship, so maybe we can have applause for Henry's Menswear. We did have a special cabaret arranged for you this evening. It was actually the Dance of the Three Virgins. Unfortunately, they broke their contract, so we weren't going. But we were going to bring along a clairvoyant for you. We thought it'd be good for you to be there, but I had a phone call today saying that she couldn't turn up due to unforeseen circumstances. Yeah. Oh, we got some fun, didn't we? But let's say the club is going from strength to strength, which is more than you can say for the beer. But you may not know it, but today is actually the National Impotency Day. You may not be aware of that. It was on the news today. Surprised they did it again this year, actually, because last year was a flop. Before we start the awards, I have got a letter actually, so I'm just going to do this. No, it's not offensive. It is actually a message from our club chairman, Phil Lyons, who, as you all know, is quite laid back, and he is a man of few words, but he has given me a message that he'd asked me to read out tonight, so I will be doing that. So here we go. Okay, so thank you for coming, Phil. That's good, isn't it? No, I'm only joking, of course I am. Okay, I would like to say a special thanks to all of our match day volunteers, Nigel Porter's ground team, and a special mention to Andy Mayo, Sharon Wright and her bar staff, the managers and coaches of our first team, ladies and under 18s, for their dedication, professionalism and manner they went about their work to ensure all our teams were well organised and disciplined. And of course, all of our team's respective players. Finally, a big thank you to all of my fellow board members for the tireless work, effort and time they all put in once again over the last 12 months to help and sustain our club at this high level of semi-pro football. The new season will soon be upon us, and I'm confident that we will have the potential to do well. Mike Ford is already working hard to put together a squad that will see us challenging in the higher reaches of the table. That's pressure for you, Mike. There you go. Off the pitch, we are looking to improve our dressing room facilities and our kit management operations. We are aware that in some areas we need to make our operations more professional. We must continue to all work together to make our dream of conference football a reality. We are united. Phil Lyons, Chairman. So to start the awards off, I'd like to call upon Ben Lovett from the under 18s to do their award procedure. Thank you.
Okay, I've not actually prepared anything to say, so and I don't really like talking publicly, so we'll see how this goes. I think just to say, first and foremost, thank you to people that have helped with under-18s football as well as with any youth football. We rely on people, not just coaches, to help and volunteer. So a few thank yous as well to people that have run the line, because it's not that professional to pay people to run the line. And actually Gary Winnie's sat there, run the line a fair bit this season. He's probably been our best player. Yeah, Gary won sort of 4 or 5 points on his own, I think, for us. Louise as well for doing all of the food as well. I'd thank Graham if he was here, but can't make it. And Del as well, Del Randall, who unfortunately can't be here tonight because he's at a Take That concert, so read into that what you will. But Del's made the job really, really easy for me because I've not had to worry about any of the administrative stuff, which is nice, and just been able to kind of concentrate on coaching and games, which has helped. So whilst he's not here, if you can put your hands together for Del as well, that would be useful. Before we move on to the Players' Awards, again, if Gary's able to come out, we've got a bottle for him, if you're able to put your hands together. Cheers, mate.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Well done.
Louise. I think we just spilled that. Is that the joke? Okay, so in terms of the player awards, I think we'll do supporters player first. So the parents' vote was incredibly close. There was 2 players who I think were within 1 or 2 kind of votes of each other, and they were also in the top sort of 3 on Players' Player of the Year as well. But Parents' Player of the Year, Harry Gardner.
Can we have a photo? One more. Wow.
Players' Player. So I asked the players to send their votes for Players' Player into me. There was 3 players, I'll mention all 3. Harry Gardner was one, Hugh Rees was the other, Josh Wynn the third. And they all had, I think there was 2 votes between the 3 of them, and every player in our team picked those 3 lads within their first 2. Incredibly close, but your Players' Player of the Year, Josh Wynn. Top goal scorer. Ryan McDonald had asked me if we were having this because he was confident of winning it halfway through the season. but Mike took him for the first team, so he played about 10 less games than Josh. So Josh Wynn, top goal scorer. Well done. Sorry. And yeah, finally, Manager's Player of the Year, and then I'll get down. Really difficult decision actually, and I think just to mention a couple of the players as well. Charlie Page, I think, has played every single minute of every single match, the only player in our team to do so. Harry Gardner thought had a really good year. Hugh Rees had a really good year. Ryan's goals have been important. Will D chipped in with some really important goals for us in some quite big games. But Manager's Player of the Year, and it's not often I agree with my players, but Josh Wynn.
Well done, Ben. Thank you very much. A big hand for all the under 18 winners, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, if I then move on to the ladies section, and if I can call upon Kevin Phillips, please.
Lovely. Okay, I planned this badly this year. Last year I was on holiday and I left it with Anna and Kath, so unfortunately I've stitched myself up this year. So yeah, I look after the women's section, so I'll go through sort of that. I'll start off with a few sort of thanks. I think everyone's done the same. I think a lot of people sort of forget the hard work that goes on behind the scenes from everyone really, not just obviously the management but the volunteers, and I think everyone's sort of mentioning them tonight. So from our side, the supporters, the people who do get involved, from linos to helping out in terms of coming to the games and looking after sort of the girls themselves. It's a massive thank you. So just a round of applause for everyone who. Without brushing too much, so just a bit of background on the sort of women's section. Last year we had one team. The plan was to sort of develop and move on from that. So as I'm sure you can all sort of see, there's quite a massive crowd giving me the eyes. I normally get out on a Sunday, but we've developed a second team this year. And to be fair, from my side, it's been absolutely fantastic. It's a massive lot of work that goes into it, but the girls that sort of come training week in, week out are phenomenal. The effort that they put in, the way they listen to the management, the earache I get, as you can see, I'm blushing a bit now, but it is fantastic. And to go from one team to two teams in 2 seasons of developing, I think it's a massive achievement. And the hard work, to be fair, is down to them. So just a round of applause for the girls. So on to the awards then. So we'll start off with, as I said, the volunteers that work behind the scenes are phenomenal, and it's great to sort of see throughout the sort of level of football that we play. So we'll start off with the first award. So on a Sunday, every week, you can't really do anything without a kit. So a big thank you to Jenna and Sarah, if they want to come up and...
Definitely me.
Definitely Sarah. Okay. We'll get them both back. So yeah, week in, week out, they take the kit home and stuff like that. In all fairness, the dirtiest person on the pitch is probably Sarah, so she gets to clean it week in, week out, so it's fair enough. Again, behind the scenes, as I said, with 2 teams, it's we have the benefit of playing at home and having Sharon and sort of Kev Preedy and so forth working behind the bar. Our development team play off-site, so a big thank you to sort of Matt and Keeley who help behind the scenes, obviously working on the tuck shop, keeping everyone with cups of tea and keeping them warm. So if you want to come up as well, big round of applause for them too. Normally we get them beer because they're animals, but moving on to sort of the media side, again, obviously the men's section have a great sort of support in terms of media. Us as well, unfortunately, one of the people who isn't here tonight, Lacey Walton, she does a phenomenal job in terms of the posters and so forth that we put on our social media. It's absolutely amazing what she does, the work that she can do. And in truth, the men try to steal our ideas. So that shows you how good she does in terms of what we do. Unfortunately, she's not here. Again, Shadders, who sort of sat down, a massive thank you for him coming week in, week out, taking photos, obviously uploading them as well. Absolutely fantastic job. We didn't know what you drank, Dave, so if you can let me know just later on what you drink, we'll obviously get you a bottle, and on Sunday we'll give that to you. So another round of applause, because I don't know what you drink. So at this point, I'm going to bring Matt, who is actually managing the development team up. He's going to go through the awards for the development team. So round of applause for Matt. For those who don't know, we didn't have a manager at the beginning of the season. We appointed Matt. He's come in and again done a great job, has his own ideas, but in terms of obviously where the club wants to go and the focus of it all, he's done a great job with the group of girls that we have. It's not easy trying to manage 35, 40 women, trust me. Okay?
Hi, this is new for me. I haven't done this for a little while. I'd just like to say thanks for everyone, but I'd like to say a massive thank you. If you could put your hands together, please, for Anna, for me, because I think she's done a sterling job every Thursday, and some of the things that she's done, put the girls through, I think it's absolutely fabulous. Anna, even I've been doing it for years, and I've learned no end from you, so. What a ledge. First trophy of the evening. This is a bit of a toughie. Most improved, and I think, to be honest, since I've took it from the start, everyone's improved. It's been really hard. Had a little chat, and it's come to Katie Wise. Player's player. For me, this is an important one. I love presenting this because it's from the players. They play with this player week in, week out, and they obviously feel that she does the business, and to be fair, she has done the business this season. So put your hands together, please, for Gemma Welling. Right, last and least, my player of the season. This player for me has been outstanding. She's played in a few positions and she's been absolutely solid in every one of those positions. She's never let anybody down, never let the team down. Katie Humphries. Cheers, Kev. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well done to all three. I know it's been hard for Matt to obviously choose his and for the players as well. So moving on to the first team. So again, most improved throughout the season. So this person, in general, is a character in herself. She sometimes doesn't get the recognition that she should do, but the effort, the hard work, there we go. For those who sort of would have seen her start last season to what sort of a player she is this year, I'm going to take all that credit, but a little bit of it. This year it's going to be Emily Parker. Okay, so next will be players. So again, as Matt said, I think this is an award for any team at the age and level that we are is probably one of the biggest. Other than the managers, that's probably the hardest. But when your peers sort of recognise the hard work and the efforts that you put in, and this person in particular for me represents his club, next to none. She literally, if you stabbed her, she'd probably bleed. Banbury colours. It's that simple. Being red, which is ironic. But no, she's been outstanding all season. I think from when I took this job on 2 years ago, she's been by my side. She is my skipper. She is my rock. She is Sarah Ryan. That's the first time she smiled next to me as well. Okay, and again, probably the hardest choice this season. Again, like I say, bringing in 35, 40 girls this year, the first team, switches and changes throughout the development into the first. For me, they've all done amazing. Trying to pick one player out of the group of girls that I have for the first has been massively hard. But I think this season, the competition has been massively hard. Everyone, like I say, on a Thursday, Sunday, the commitment, the efforts that they've all put in has been phenomenal for me. And without getting sort of teary, it's been a pleasure working with all of them. This girl in particular is, I would say, a little bit of a character, a little bit of a pain in my arse. But throughout the team, she is a character. She gets on with everyone. She comes in, she does a job, she's committed, and I'll give you 100% game in, week in, doesn't matter when. Ask her to play in whatever position, she won't even question it. Put her in goal, she'd probably still play in goal, to be fair. So this year it's Sean. So that's the awards. We'd like to do something a little bit different, so we've got a couple of awards that we're going to put out this year. Last year we had a top goal scorer, but we had one team. So this year we decided to sack that because we've got two teams and we had strikers playing in either team. So this year we've decided to bring in a new award, and it's the club's person. So I'm going to just get Sarah and Leah just to come up and stand with me. So this year, basically we're looking at awarding it to the person who's committed themselves to the club, has done nothing but support the teams themselves, and I think this person, I think everyone in our sort of session will agree, deserves it massively. So this person has literally gone from playing football to coaching to being part of the development team, being part of the first team, playing in goal, playing outfield, and doing basically everything. And she's a fantastic lady, a fantastic person, and she's got a massive bright future ahead. So this year, club's person is Lindsay Burlow. Very shy, this one, by the way. Okay, and the last one I think is probably a massive award that we like to sort of share. So it's a special recognition award. For us last year it was David for all the hard work that he sort of put in with the social media and so forth. This year for us it's a person that doesn't really get the credit she does deserve. Every man would probably say that there's a strong woman behind them. In this case, there's a massively strong woman behind me in terms of management. So this year is Anna Crane. So just a little story before I sort of do hand the mic over. So yeah, Anna came out of retirement to sort of play in goal for us this year. So although she's been by my side since I started this journey, and she has definitely gave me earache throughout of it. She's come in, she actually broke her finger playing in goal for us, and unfortunately the finger is pretty buggered, so she's retired again. But again, it just shows the commitment and the sort of side that she has and the character. And I think everyone over that side, all the girls will give you nothing but credit and nothing but high praise for Anna in general. But the work that she does behind the scenes, as I said at the beginning, I think sometimes we take it for granted how much the volunteers, and bearing in mind she is a volunteer, work behind the scenes. So just another round of applause for Anna, just to embarrass her. And that's it from me. I'll pass you over.
Okay, I'd like to call Kev, Anna, Linz and Matt up, please. Up you come. Please. Okay, so many people take for granted what goes into managing a football team, let alone a ladies' one. And not just one, but a two. So, whinges aside, we really do appreciate everything you all do for us. This season's been awesome, so thank you very much. We've got a few bits for you, I think. Round of applause, please.
Drop it.
Watch those fingers. Thank you very much. Applause, everyone. Sarah and I have a few special awards to give out. The first award goes to someone that puts particular effort into this area of very important football business and seems to hold a role with great pleasure. She never fails to keep us all in good spirit. And we often wonder, how did that just come out of her mouth? So the best storyteller and entertainer award goes to Emily Parker.
You want a photo? Come on, Dave. Come on. You're on photos. Yeah.
So I have to talk to everyone about a particular goal. The ball came in from a fantastic cross, like you've never seen before. Not quite sure on the player's name. The contact was incredible, and it was a sliding goal as well. Unfortunately, it was in the wrong goal. So the award for best own goal goes to Katie Humphries. The next award goes to someone who, on this particular day, showed great passion. They gave tremendous footballing skill, and they amaze us every time they play. But they had a secret like no other. We didn't have a clue they were amazing at boxing. Abby? They're sending off. The next award goes to a pair. We couldn't decide between the two of you as to who would be most deserving of this award. Debbie, Zoe? Up you come. No, don't clap this one. Debbie, Zoe? Zoe? Up you hop. Your lateness never ceases to amaze us. Well done, not. The fines will be coming in shocks later, I imagine? Okay, last but not very least, we've got a Boscar Award. The Banbury United Oscar Award. For the best dramatic performance on pitch. Could it go to any other? Where's Anna? Where is she? Get over here. Thank you. Okay, just from us, we did want to say a massive thank you to all the supporters for coming along to all of our games week in, week out. Having a crowd, however big or small, is always uplifting, and you really do play a part in what we achieve, so thank you very much.
Okay, well done. Well done to the ladies. That's 2 teams to have now. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. We've had a good season. So we're going to move on. So firstly, before we go to the first team awards, I think it's very important to, I mean, Phil did his message obviously and mentioned everyone, but in order to run this football club, which as you know is a semi-professional football club, and it costs in the region of £200,000 a year to run Banbury United, which is a small business really. So I think that it's our opportunity to thank our board of directors. At the moment, we're not all here today, there's different reasons people couldn't make it. But I'd like to call the directors who are here up to the front, please, Romain. Nigel Porter, Martin Cantrell, Sharon Wright, Mark Allett, and Dave Wyatt, please. Come on. Come on. Mark Allett wins the best shirt already. Come on, young Dave. Move along, guys. So, for those of you who know, I was actually chairman for a couple of years, and then my good friend Phil took over. But I understand the pressures and the difficulty of running this football club, and these guys have done it again for another year. And I think that when we get the opportunity, we should get them forward and thank them very much for what they've done for the club. And we are united. So can we applause for the directors of Banbury United Football Club, please? Mark Allett, Nigel Porter, Martin Cantrell, Sharon Wright and Dave Wyatt. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go on to the awards. Is everyone having a good night, everyone? Is it all good? It's good spirit, isn't it? Got a few weeks off now, haven't we? It's a good thing. So obviously the first team lads, there's quite a few of them. Unfortunately, not everyone can make it. I don't think is Greg Casaboni here? I don't think he got here, did he? No, unfortunately. But Greg Casaboni, I've actually found out that he wants to be. He actually wants to be a magician. Yeah, because well, he disappeared every away game, didn't he? So. I love him. It's only a puppet. I love him. He's all right. No, Greg. No. So last night we was here, and it was the Sports Connection. It was a boxing sporting evening here last night. Fantastic night. Great for the community. We had over 100 people in here. It's run by Sports Connection, which is headed up by Kevin Wilson, who is one of our ex-players, who went on to have a fantastic professional career of over 500 games. And we had Ricky Hatton, the world champion, and Glenn McCrory, also a world champion. I think I'm right in saying, Andy? Yeah? But they had a comedian from Manchester, he did impressions, and I actually was sat where Andy was, so I was quite near, so they were stood here, and I was dressed to impress, and I didn't have his suit on, I had another suit on, but he spotted me, and I thought, here he goes. So he sort of looked over at me and said, oh, you look a bit posh, he says, look like you got a bit of money. He says, what's your name? I went, Ronnie. He says, and where are you from? Oh, no, he went, oh, Ronnie. He says, and where are you from? I went, Brett Hill. He went, oh, Brett Hill. Don't bullshit a bullshitter, I tell you. So, and then Ricky Hatton come on, who obviously world champion boxer, went undefeated for many years. And I was actually sat here, and my chair sort of moved across, and Ricky Hatton was here. So I was literally, he could have sat on my lap, pretty much. So every time he told a little story, and he was very good actually. He's had his problems, but he was very good. And every time he sort of told a joke, he looked at me. And I'm literally there, so I laughed hilariously. Because he was within distance to give me a right uppercut. But it was a good night, it's a great evening for the club, and I think the bar did very well. So, and on the way home, we chilled out here a bit afterwards, and we probably left here about midnight, I think. But last night I got home and I went by the Indian, and I had it's a new one. I don't know if you go to the Indian, you guys, but I had a very hot Jurassic curry. Don't know if anyone's had it, but I woke up with a mega sore ass. I tell you. They're good, eh? Yeah. Where's my mate? Still French? Where's still French, my old buddy? Frenchy, hi mate, my old doorman. Hey, we get any problems? We've got Frenchy here tonight, I'll tell you. But Phil French, I found out that he actually went to do, he was going to be a donor for artificial insemination, but he found the competition too stiff. So, let's go on with the awards. So, we're going to go firstly, we've got 6 awards to make for the first team, so we've got 6 awards. The first one is going to be the Players' Player of the Season, and as I think Kevin rightly said for the ladies, that the people who get chosen for that is from their peers, so it's a great award to win. I'm going to ask, if I may, some of our directors up to present these awards. The first one for the Players' Player, I'd like to ask Martin Cantrell to come forward, please. Okay, so the Players' Player of the Season for 2018-19 is Giorgio Rasulo. Okay, I think we ought to have just a few words, haven't we? So, Giorgio, you've won Players' Player. So, would you just like to say thank you?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to the team and the manager for making me feel welcome.
Fantastic, thank you. He's got off lightly because if we're on the coach, we make him sing, so he's got off lightly. So the second award, I'd like to ask Brian Baker to come forward, please. This is the Puritans Radio Man of the Match Award. Stuart Green is obviously one, but Stuart isn't very well this evening, so Brian's very kindly come along to present this award. So every game there is a Man of the Match award. At home this year, our sponsors in the sponsor land, they chose it, and on the away games, obviously the Puritans Radio DJs. DJs? That'll do. Commentary team, yeah. They chose it. So, and the winner, unfortunately, isn't here. I have mentioned him earlier. But I'm going to ask Jack Hardin, who unfortunately wasn't here last year when he won an award, to come forward and receive it for Greg Casaboni. Hope you don't drop it. One minute, Jack, come in. Come in. No, you're not getting away. Just say a few words on behalf of Greg Conway.
I spoke to Greg before and he just said thank you very much, that's it.
Thank you. Lucky Sky's not here over a pretty short programme, isn't it? Okay. So next is the supporters young player of the season. I think this is for under 23s. Do we do it under 23s? I think under 23. This is voted by the Community Benefit Society, all the members, which I think is 300. I'm going to ask Mark Alec, one of our commercial director, to come forward to present that. And the winner of the supporters young player of the season is Amma Awada, better known as Mersey. He's ready. What's his speech?
No? Yeah.
Mersey, come in, little darling.
Thanks for everyone who picked me.
Okay, Mike. No, actually, we're going before now. No, I'll change that. Sorry. So the next one, the fourth one, is once again the supporters. So the CBS decided their membership, of which I say we are 300. It's their play of the season. And I'd like to ask Sharon Wright to come forward, please, or May, to present this. Okay. Okay, and the winner for the supporters player of the season is the club skipper, Vicky Johnson. He's presently in the toilet. You could say he's looking down on the unemployed, but we won't say that. If we go to the toilet to get a speech. Come here, hey, look, Skipper, come back. Do your belt, Vicky, please. Do your belt of them. Okay, do we have a few words, please? There you go, gosh. Would you like to say a few words, Vicky, as skipper of the club, and congratulations. I'm the only someone as tall as him on this birthday.
I'd just like to thank my... I started playing football actually under 11s, so I'd like to thank my under 11s manager, John Snelling. John Snelling, are you in the house? No. Under 12s, John Snelling, thank you very much, John. 13s, John Snelling. 14s, John Snelling. 15s, John Snelling. 16s, John Snelling. And then I couldn't make the first team, so I went away. Played somewhere else, and then they accepted me back. So thank you for accepting me back. Thank you very much for this award. UTP. Up the Puritan.
He could have thanked me for driving him to all those bloody games, wouldn't he? Okay, number 5 is the manager's player of the season. So I'm going to ask someone from Mike Ford's management team. I'm not sure who's coming forward. Who's going forward? Yeah. Mike, I think you ought to come up as well, Mike. Michael? Mr. Ford? Right, Mike, who's going? You can do it, yeah. We got you too. Who's going to do it? Okay. Say a few words about it. You want to say a few words first? First team manager, Mike Ford, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Over the course of a season, so this time last year, that table with all those young men was full of Diet Cokes, lemonade and glasses of water. How times have changed. This time last year, exactly the same as it is tonight. Okay, I'd like to thank everyone, show my appreciation to people who supported me during the season. It's been a difficult year. It's not been anywhere near where we wanted to be. Sometimes people have opinions that they voice quite clearly, that's okay. But I would like to thank those supporters, staff members and players that have continued to support me 100%. I'd like to thank you very much for that over the course of the last 12 months. So, management, it's not the manager's player of the year, it's a management player of the year, and we take lots of things into consideration, so effort, enthusiasm, work rate, ability, match day, training and so on. And it was very close. I think we had, maybe it was one in one way and one in another way. I think Matty, who did you vote for, Matty? Matty, you're not supposed to be speaking to me though, are you? So just to clarify, my staff and those players bet you cannot speak to the manager. If you do, it's a whole round. Matty has never bought a whole round in his life. Appreciate that, Matty. So anyway, so the player that we think as staff members was our player of the year was Giorgio Rosulia. He said, thanks, Gaffer.
I got a photo.
Oh, sorry.
Picture. No, you've said enough, Georgia.
So, Jay, are you pleased with the award? And lastly, 12 months in a football season is a long time. And we make a massive commitment, me, the staff, the players, make a huge commitment to take part in what we're trying to achieve at this football club. And without the support from... That's what happened last year as well. Definitely, at +9, this is what happened last year. Girls, you need to learn, seriously. Managers like quick learners. So, I'd like to thank on behalf, so my partner Amanda, and I'm sure there's lots of other players that would appreciate their partners, wives and so on, supporting them throughout the weeks, years and so on. Without that support, I don't really think we could do it. So thank you to all of those. Ronnie is now going to tell the brake fluid joke. No, got to tell it wrong.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, we're coming to the end ladies and gentlemen, there is actually one other award that didn't work there. Now, I've just got to say, where's Jamie at? Jamie Wright. What happened? What happened? Forgot? Right. We had a song set up for if Georgia when we didn't get it, so that's all over. You lost it. We'll do it later. But so we're coming to the end of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. And a couple of years ago, I actually started an award. It was called the Star UK Travel, my company appreciation award. A bit of a plug, yeah. In the first instance, I gave it to Mark Alec, our commercial director. To be honest, I could give it him every year, if I was honest, because he does such a fantastic job for this club, and I think he is my good buddy. Last year, I gave it to the wonderful and fantastic David Shadbolt, Shadders as we know him, and he was certainly a very deserving recipient. Can I ask Brian Baker to come up, please? Brian Baker. Brian, you haven't won the award, but if you want to come on. Just for making this award. Actually, a few weeks ago, we were coming back from. Where were we coming from? I got a bit upset. Overchurch. It was Overchurch, wasn't it? Yeah, I had a little bit of an emotional breakdown actually, coming back on the coach. I'd got a few friends who weren't that well and had a funny incident. So I got a bit upset, to be honest. And so I decided to go to a psychiatrist. It worried me a bit, because normally I don't really give a damn, as you can tell, I'm a bit of a lad. And I told him what was up with me. I said I started sort of have a bit of a whimper on the coach, caught everyone by surprise. And they said, I said, what do you think it is? He said, well, you have had an emotional climax. And I said, well, is that anything like a sexual climax? He says, well, you did make yourself look a prick. That's a true story, by the way. I'm not lying about it. I'm not lying about that. But so this award is an appreciation award for those of you sat on these chairs at the moment. When we started 4 years ago, when we first took over the club as a fan-based club, to be honest, a lot of things were a bit tired. There wasn't a lot of money in the club. And the gentleman who I'm going to make this award to, who unfortunately isn't here, whose health is sort of a little bit up and down at times, I'm very disappointed he's not here, but he helped the club with a financial payment to allow us to get these chairs and other things in the club and make this clubhouse, which I think now is a very nice clubhouse. We had other things happen. LJ Construction did this flooring for us, which is brilliant. And then at the start of this season, everyone wanted a stand this end of the ground, King Sutton end. And as we all know, it's there now. It's a Puritan radio stand. And Stuart Green gave us the financial support to build that. And I think it was a fantastic effort. I think it's changed the ground. It's given us that lovely covered area, that end. And so tonight I'm going to present the Star Travel Appreciation Award to Stuart Green, and his good friend Brian Baker is going to accept it. Thank you. Just to finish off, if I may. So as I say, I was chairman for 2 years, and I've just found some notes I made 2 years ago that I think I've read out things. So I think it's really very relevant now. So I'd just like to read what I said, and I think we hope that we all still continue down this path. It's a little bit bitty, but I'll try. Okay, it said, please take in with indeed pride and gratitude the new horizon and journey has begun. Let all be united and continue to push forward, not as followers, but as leaders, to make Bambi United Football Club a shining example in the world of football and beyond to show the fans and the community can step up to the mark when given the opportunity. To the award winners, congratulations. But everyone involved with Bambi United should be proud of our club and our position in the community as a fan-owned club. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.